Hello, 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 everyone. It is Financially Free D, and we are back with another Financially Free Friday. So, we are here for the Secure the Bag 0 to 100K preview, and we have a Q&A live. So, if you want to know how to go from 0 to 100K and other people's money in 2024, then you want to come on in and stay tuned, lock in. So, we are here doing a preview of our free master class that is going to be happening on November 20th. So, if you see that scrolling across the screen, that is our free master. Oops, I'm so sorry, guys. I actually got the wrong thing going across the screen. So join the free Secure the Bag 0 to 100K Masterclass on November 20th. That is our link. You can join us for absolutely free 99. I'm going to be talking to you about how to go from 0 to 100K in 2024. So if this is for you, then come on in. We are going to get locked in. So I am Financially Free D. If you do not know me, I used to be a corporate financial analyst for the largest privately held company in the world. And then I left my job to become an entrepreneur. And I was able to start a brand new business and secure $100,000 in less than 6 months. I secured 250,000 in 1 year, and I took that same $100,000 and generated $100,000 in my business, and then turn around and turn that into $1 million net worth. So that is why I feel like you should listen to me and learn the strategies and the techniques that I used to get other people's money and turn it into real cash flow. So not just get other people's money and buy cars and buy things that don't matter, that depreciate, but actually buy things that are going to increase in value, that are an asset to you. So your net worth are assets. These are things that you own that are actually worth money. So taking other people's money and turning that into cash flow, turning that into income generating assets, turning that into generational wealth. That is what I'm here to teach you guys. So if you are just now coming in and you have not seen our graphics or anything, make sure you drop your comments down below, because I am answering your questions for free 99 today. You can literally ask me anything you want to know about money. So again, before I was a business owner and entrepreneur, I was a financial analyst in the corporate world dealing with multi-million, $100 million deals. That was what I did. So I learned the foundations of money, and I am wanting to teach you all exactly how to do the same thing. So not just how to obtain the money, but how to protect the money and how to maintain the money. That is very important. How do you grow it? How do you acquire it? How do you then grow it? And then how do you maintain it? How many people do we know or we hear about on the TV? They made millions of dollars and now they're broke. How is it that you make millions of dollars and you're broke? Because you didn't realize how to actually maintain what you obtained. So that is what this platform is all about. But in today's class, we are going to be talking, or today's live, we're going to be talking all about how to secure that bag and go from 0 to 100K. So first things first, I want you all to put your comments down in the comment section. I want to answer your questions for free 99. So I'm waiting for you guys to come in, drop those questions. As you come in, I want you to comment, secure the bag, which is coming November 20th. So if you have not signed up yet, this is a 1-day masterclass that is free 99. It is absolutely free. Now, we do have a challenge that you can join that is a paid challenge. But if you want to get the foundations, you want to get the principles of how to go from 0 to 100K, then you can join our free masterclass. We're not asking for anything from you. And if you want to get a preview of what this is all about, then drop your comments down in the comment section. And if you are watching the replay, then you can still drop your comments down in the comment section. Drop your questions down in the comment section. You can join us for free in our 0 to 100K masterclass, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So, number one, there are, to me, 6 pillars of this. There's 6 pillars of becoming financially free, right? And then there are some foundational things that you need to go to do to get to 100K. And the first thing that you need to do is master your personal credit. Mastering your personal credit. So that doesn't just mean, hey, D, I have an 800 credit score. No, we're not just talking about credit scores here. We're talking about mastering your credit profile. Okay. So what types of accounts do you have on your credit report? Do you have revolving accounts? Do you have installment accounts? Do you have accounts that are with banking institutions? Do you have accounts that are just Macy's and store cards and a whole bunch of Klarna and a whole bunch of Afterpay? So those things actually hurt your credit. They don't help your credit. So that's gem number one that I'm going to tell you guys. If you are purchasing things with Afterpay, Klarna, those things are hurting your credit. They are not building your credit. They're not building your credit. What builds your credit is installment loans and revolving loans with the banks. Also, you can get credit builder accounts. There are credit builder accounts that I'm going to be talking about, but one of them that you all may have heard of is Self. Self is a credit builder account to where you use your own money. You are lending to yourself. That's why they named it Self. And it's going to report to your credit reporting agency. So it's going to report to TransUnion. It's going to report to Equifax. It's going to report to Experian. So you can use credit builder accounts to help to build your credit, but you don't want to have a whole bunch of credit builder accounts and no primary accounts is what we call them. Primary accounts are bank-backed accounts. So if you have a personal loan, or if you have an auto loan, or if you have a mortgage, those things are going to help you build your credit. Okay. So we're not just building our score. The score is a vanity score. So usually based on whatever is on your credit profile is what your score will be. So if you have a healthy credit profile, so if you have revolving accounts, installment accounts, you have good payment history, you have not a whole bunch of brand new applications, you have less than 30% utilization, then your credit score is usually going to be above 720. That is very important to understand. So your credit report is what makes up your credit score. But guess what? You can be someone who doesn't have much credit and still have a 720 credit score. And that does not mean that the banks are going to lend to you. So if you, let's say you're a person who is new to credit, so you only have one account and that account is maybe a year old and you've always paid that account on time, then guess what? You will still have good credit, but that does not mean that you are going to get approved by the banks for $100,000 or for $50,000. Or guys, I just got approved for a $60,000 line of credit, business line of credit today that I showed no documentation, zero. I didn't give them any tax returns. I didn't give them any W-2s. I didn't give them any documentation. $60,000, less than 10% interest rate. Okay, so how do you lock in those types of lines of credit, loans, credit cards? You have to start with the foundation, which is your personal credit. So if you guys have questions, drop them in the comment section. I see it on YouTube. You said you need help, but let me know, what is your question? Don't be shy. This is free 99. I'm giving you guys the game. So that's personal credit, right? So there are 2 main factors that make up your personal credit, right? That is payment history, right? Payment history. That's number 1. So do you have charge-offs? Do you have collections? Do you have bankruptcies? Do you have liens? Do you have any of the negative collections? Do you have any of the negative derogatory items on your credit? That is your payment history. That makes up 35% of your credit score. So for some of you all, simply just removing negative items from your credit report will shoot you up to 745, 800. For me to increase my credit score in 90 days to 800, I had to do two things. There was only two things. The first thing was fix my payment history. I was a victim of identity theft, unfortunately. And guess what? I had a charge off because I had an account on my credit report that I didn't even know about. Why? Because I was not checking my credit report. So remember, credit is currency in the United States. Credit is an asset for you. This is an asset. You need to start looking at your credit as an asset, even more than cash. Because some people, you may have cash, but if you're in a luxury place, if you don't have good credit, they may say, hey, no, we can't accept you. We can't accept you. Yeah, you make enough money to qualify for this thing, but your credit is not good. So we are not going to accept you, right? So credit is an asset. I want everybody in the comment section right now, put credit is an asset. Credit is an asset, and you need to be looking at it just like you look at a house as an asset, just as you look at stocks, cryptocurrency. Some people look at their cars as assets, but most people's vehicles are actually depreciating assets. So there are such things as appreciating assets, and then there is depreciating assets. But we won't get into that. That's a whole nother financial conversation, right? So credit is an asset. So it is very important that you get your payment history in order. Number two, you want to make sure that you get your utilization. How much of your credit are you using? Your credit utilization is 30% of your score. It's 30% of your score. So for me to increase my credit score from 645 to 800, the second thing that I needed to do was pay down those maxed out credit cards. I had a card that was 100%. I was using that thing to the limit. Every single month, it was reporting to my credit report, maxed out, maxed out. I paid that down. My credit score shot up to 745. From 645 to 745 in 30 days. And there are ways for you to pay down your utilization. Do you know that there are certain loans that don't even report to the credit bureaus? One of my clients, if you go onto my secure the bag page, you'll see one of my clients said, thank you, D, for giving me that ghost loan. My credit score, I'm finally in the 800 club. She did one thing, just one simple thing. She got approved for a certain loan that did not report to her credit bureaus and refinanced her debt into that loan. And now she's in the 800 club. So guess what? Now she's able to get business credit. And now she never has to use her personal credit ever again if she doesn't want to. I don't use my personal credit. Everything goes onto my business credit. Write this down in the chat. Separate your personal and business. Separate your personal and business. And you want everything to be transferred into your business. Control everything, but own nothing. Control everything, but own nothing. A lot of you guys watch social media and you're saying, oh, I should get a trust. I should do this. I should do that. But if you don't own anything, what are you going to put in the trust? Why would you pay $2,000 to $5,000 for a trust that you don't have any assets to put into it? A trust is for assets. So businesses, property, investment accounts. All of these things are the things that you use to fund your trust. So put those assets into your trust. So you want to ensure that you control everything, but you own nothing. Okay? So now that we know credit is an asset and that we have the foundation, we're using credit. That's our first thing that we need to do as the foundation. The second thing that we need to do, especially if you are a six-figure income earner, you need to establish a business entity yesterday. You need to establish, especially How many of us know that we have a new administration coming in January? What do we know about this administration? What do we know? We know that they protect corporations and business owners. So what would I be doing if I'm a person who wants to build generational wealth? I'm a person who wants to become financially free. I'm going to build a business. I'm going to start a business. Even if it's on paper, I'm going to start a business. If I acquire any real estate, any investment properties, any side hustles, even if you only make $500 a year from it, I am going to have it set up as a business, because there are laws and tax codes in place right now that benefit corporations and business owners. So if you are a six-figure income earner, even if you are not a six-figure income earner, you should start a business like yesterday, right? So that's pillar number 2 in the financial freedom guide, and your way to secure the bag and go from 0 to 100K. You need to make sure that you set up a business, and make sure you set up a business that qualifies for funding. You want to make sure that you set up a business that qualifies for funding. Put it down in the chat. Set up a business that qualifies for funding. I literally got 100K in business credit at 0% interest without making $1 of revenue in my business. Before I made $1, before I made literally 1 penny, I had $100,000 at 0% interest in credit. And I leveraged that credit, and I didn't just go buy, Gucci bags and Louboutins and all that stuff. You know what I did? I turned that into a 6-figure business within 7 months. So my business generated $100,000 within 7 months with other people's money. I didn't use $1 of my personal money. I used other people's money. So what do you need to do? You need to set up that business entity and start acquiring funding ASAP, right? So if I'm you, I'm going after 2 types of funding only in the very beginning. I am going after 0% interest business credit cards, and I'm going after grants. Those are the 2 things. From day 1, when I started my business, the very next day, I joined a grant program. Not the ones that you guys see on the internet, but there are other places to find grants. And I qualified for a $25,000 grant. Me and every single person who showed up. You want to know how many people showed up? 5 people. Because nobody knew about it. So guess what? All of us got $25,000 of other people's money that we never paid back. We never had to pay that money back. And if you go on my Secure the Bag masterclass page, you're going to see me holding this very big check, $25,000 in other people's money that I did not have to pay back. Okay, so I'm acquiring 0% interest business credit, and I am acquiring grant money. So as soon as I start that business, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I have a business that is set up and structured credibly, and is set up so that banks are going to be willing to lend. It meets the lending requirements. So what is my business industry? What business industry am I in? How is my business set up? What is my business name? Do I have a business address, or am I using a P.O. box? Most banks, they've caught on to that. They're going to say, hey, we cannot accept your application. Your application is denied because we do not accept P.O. boxes. So you're hearing all these different people tell you, hey, go to this place and get a business address. Go to that place and get a business address. But make sure when the banks run your application, it's not showing as a commercial mailing receiving address. Commercial mailing receiving address. If that's, you know what that means? That means P.O. box. And you know what the banks are going to say? I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Jane, I cannot accept your application. We don't accept P.O. boxes because there was so much fraud that happened during the pandemic. So you need to make sure your business is set up credibly and it meets lending requirements. That's your industry. That's your name. That's your business address. That's your business phone number. If you want the free guide, I have an absolute free guide that tells you exactly how to set up your business. Then comment guide down in the comment section and we will send it to you. If you come to our masterclass, you'll get the guide. Comment guide down in the comment section if you want us to send you the free guide. I literally have a 10-step guide that takes you from 0 to 100K, how to set up your business entity verbatim, how to set up your name, how to set up your industry, where you go to get a business address that is not a commercial mailing receiving address, for sure. How you get a official business phone number. Okay, so this is what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to take these steps. So setting up your business entity to get funding. So I got some questions in the chat. I see you guys in the question. 20 years plus and narcissist info. So narcissist info. We can talk. Yes, we can talk narcissist info. We will talk. Please. This is what I need you to do. I want you to show up to this masterclass, and yes, we can talk. We'll talk offline. I'll comment back on your comment. Okay. Now, next, once we have your business set up, we're going after the 0% interest business credit cards. We're going after the grants. Now, most grants do require a business plan. So 20 plus years to answer your question. Yes, most grants do require a business plan. But guess what? There is something called a lean start business plan that is literally a one-pager. It's a one-pager. You don't have to have 10 million different pages for it to be a lean start or a lean setup business plan. If you are in the Credit to Freedom membership program, this is a template that you will have access to. So 20 plus years, if you have not had a chance to see our Credit to Freedom membership program, we are in there fixing credit live, how to fix collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, but not just how to repair credit, because repairing credit is just one thing. There's a lot of people who removed a whole bunch of negative items off of their credit and thought that they were going to go to the bank and get $100,000. No, we teach more so building credit. Building credit is my strength. I am not the #1 credit repair specialist in the world. I'm not. Do I know how to repair credit? Yes. Have I removed charge-offs? Yes. Have I removed bankruptcies? Yes. Have I removed liens? Yes. I've done all of that, right? But I'm not the person that I focus on repairing credit and that's what I do. I focus on building credit. How am I going to build my credit? How am I going to build my banking relationships? How am I going to build? So while you're repairing your credit, you also want to fix your credit. And also you want to have a lean start or a lean setup business plan. That's easy. It's a one-pager. I have templates in the Credit to Freedom membership. So if you are not locked into the Credit to Freedom membership, then we will put the link in the comment section for you. So that way you can join us there. It's popping in there. We actually have a giveaway. So shout out to you, Sonia Lee, our giveaway winner. If you are watching, shout out to you. Our giveaway ended. Our winner was announced today. So shout out to Sonia. Sonia, congratulations. So let's get into it. So we got our business set up, right? Next, we are going after the so I said, let me make sure I got this right. I said personal credit, I said business credit, and did I get into grants yet, guys? I kind of lost my train of thought. So grants. Next, how do you get grants? What are grants? So a lot of you guys don't even know what grants are. Grants are usually funded by two different things. You have government grants. So you have grants provided by your state. You have federal government grants. So that's the grants that everybody goes after. You know, it's open to the entire United States. Then you have state grants. So whatever state you're in. So this money is dispersed by your state. Then you have county. So if you have a big county, then your county disperses the grants. Then you have city grants. You have city grants. So those are government issued grants, right? So government issued grants have federal, state, county, and city. Then you have private grants. You have private grants that are set up by foundations, by banks, by different private, very, very, very wealthy people. And they're doing this because it's a tax write-off. So yes, they may be charitable, they may be philanthropists and all of that kind of stuff. Oprah, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Yes, she was doing that for the good of out of the good of her heart, but she also mainly did that for a tax write-off. So we got to understand how wealth really works and how economics really works. So why people set up these grants is because it reduces their tax liability, right? So you have grants for women, you have grants for veterans, you have grants for disabled people, you have grants because you're left-handed. You have grants for all types of different things. Disadvantaged. You come from a disadvantaged area. You all sorts of things. There's all sorts of reasons why you get grants. So I had someone ask me, D, am I only eligible for grants if I have a nonprofit? No, I don't have a nonprofit. I've won several grants. You do not need to have a nonprofit to win grants. But yes, nonprofits are mainly funded by grants. So nonprofits get the majority of the grant money, right? So this is free money. I just gave you guys, if you're listening and in between the lines, I just gave you places that you can go start looking for grants right now. But guess what? In the masterclass, I'm going to give you the websites. Where do you go to get these grants? Where do you go to secure this money? How do you set up to win the grants? Not all grants are based on your business plan. You don't only win because you have the best business plan. Some grants are literally just based on where you live. Just based on where you live and you meet the criteria. You are a legally established business entity. So for the grant, the first one that I won, that was $25,000, is because I was a legally established business entity. I hadn't made $1. I hadn't done anything in the business. I had just started the business the day before. And my cousin called me because she works in the community. She said, hey, D, there's this grant program that you need to hurry up and get down there. This is their last day. You better go. And guess what? I put on my clothes and I went and bam, secured $25,000 just like that. So you have to decide, are you getting publicly funded grants or are you getting privately funded grants? So yes, a business plan matters, right? But mainly, is your business set up to receive money from other people? That is very important. Okay. So you guys drop them questions down below. Drop them questions. So those are grants. Then the last thing, I don't know if we got more into business credit, but circling back to business credit and having 0% interest business credit cards, right? Not every bank or lending institution is created equal. So for me, if I'm a brand new business, everybody is different. For me, what allowed me to scale up so quickly is the fact that I had those 0% interest business credit cards and I used them to my advantage. So first thing I did was I purchased a mentorship program. The second thing I did was invest in CRM and a website, someone to build my website, all of that stuff, right? So I can market to people. The third thing I did was I invested in other businesses. That's literally how it happened. I invested in a mentorship program, which that mentor, I paid him $10,000 and he has made me probably $500,000 over the course of the years. So sometimes mostly all times, it is great to pay for things that you don't know. Pay for the information so it cuts your time in learning. And this is not me actually selling you guys anything, because I'm going to tell you this. Regardless, I'm still going to do what I need to do. I still pay for mentorship to this day because I always want to get to the next level. So, okay, I mastered this. I mastered being a 6-figure income earner, right? My business generating 6 figures consecutively, not just 1 year. Every year that I've been in business, my business has generated 6 figures, right? So now how do I get to the next level? How do I make my business make millions every year because I haven't reached that yet. I haven't done that yet. In full transparency, my business has never made $1 million, but guess what? I have $1 million net worth. I own more than I make. So I own more than I make. And this is not with a private residence. This is not from my personal home that I live in. I'm literally talking about things that I own, property that I own, land that I own, businesses, billion-dollar tech companies that I'm invested in, life insurance that pays me, all these different things. So when you start making money, you got to diversify. You should not have all your eggs in one basket. Number one, you should have an emergency fund. So before I did anything, I have an emergency fund. So if anything ever hits the fan, there's no job, there's no business, there's no client that's going to be able to hold me hostage. If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything that I don't want to do. So guess what? That's that emergency fund. That's that rainy day fund. That's that peace out fund. I don't need this. So I have money to sustain myself. That is how I was able to start my business in the very beginning. You guys, if you know my story, I told you that I had no income. I left a 6-figure job and I had no money at all. I didn't have a job. I didn't set up my business yet. I was learning entrepreneurship. I didn't make $1 for 12 months. This is before I started my business. When I started really getting into learning business credit and learning entrepreneurship and learning just the different things that were going on in the world, I took 1 whole year to learn. Most people can't do that. And I'm very grateful for that. My first 12 months, I had $0 income coming in. But guess what? I was good because I had an emergency fund. So always make sure you have an emergency fund. That's another foundational thing that you should have. Life insurance, another foundational thing that you should have. Investment account, another foundational thing that you should have. Business, a foundational thing that you should have. Even if your business literally only buys property, or even if your business literally only is a side hustle. This is something I do on the weekends. You can get free money for that. You are missing out on millions in grants. Do you know how many people complain about, oh, there's immigrants that come to this country and they take over everything, and how does this happen and this and that? Guess what? They are getting grant money. They're the first ones to get grant money. And don't think that you can't do the same thing. You can do the same thing, right? You should have a business. Your credit should be on point. Like I said, I just got approved for a $60,000 line of credit with no documentation. Zero. Not a tax return, not a W-2, not a nothing. Because I know what banks to bank with. So that is the key point in business credit and in obtaining other people's money. You have to work with the right foundations. You have to work with the right institutions. You have to work with the right people that are willing to loan to you. So you need to know your profile. What do I have on my side? I'm a woman. I'm a minority. I have ties to the military, to the Department of Defense. All of these things work in my advantage so that I can go get free money, or so I can get banks to lend to me because I qualify and I meet their demographics for certain programs. So what everybody needs to do right now is I want you to put inventory in the comment section. Take inventory of your profile. If you're a man, if you're a veteran, if you come from, a certain neighborhood, or you currently live in a certain neighborhood, are you a minority? These are all things in your profile that you can literally find different grants and different banks that are going to lend to you with less stringent requirements simply because you meet these profiles. I don't know if you guys knew that. Literally, there are laws in place that are not necessarily diversity, equity, and inclusion, but other laws that are in place that say, hey, this bank, you need to loan this much to this community. And if nobody applies, then you can, give this money to your foundation. So you got to show up. That's how I was able to secure that grant money, by just showing up. They just gave it to me. So take inventory of your profile. Who are you? What do you have working as an asset for you, right? So banking with the right banks, not just going to Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America or wherever just because that's what everybody talks about on the internet, right? Going to the banks that are going to pay you. The banks pay me. I'm not just saying that, I mean that. The banks pay me in cash. They pay me in rewards. They pay me in free travel. That is how I'm able to live this type of lifestyle and not be a millionaire. I told you guys, I don't make $1 million. Never have. Never made $1 million in 1 year. But I guarantee you, I probably own more than the average millionaire. I guarantee you, I probably live a better lifestyle than the average millionaire because I understand how to use what I have to work for me. So these are the things in Secure the Bag that we're talking about. We're talking about personal credit. What does your profile need to look like? Business credit, business entity set up. What do these things need to look like for you to meet these qualifications? Grants, how do you obtain them? We are in a new administration. I cannot say that enough. So if we know this administration, it works in the best interest of business owners and corporations, then what am I going to do? I'm going to incorporate my life. Shout out to my mentor, DJ the Money Coach. Incorporate your life. So what does that mean? My car is refinanced into my business's name. And guess what? If I got a big body truck that's over 6,000 pounds, what is that? A tax write-off. That is a tax write-off. If I got a big body, anything over 6,000 pounds, okay. If I incorporate my life, I refinance that vehicle into my business's name, and me and my personal relationship manager, banking manager, were just talking about this. He was saying, hey, D, I got your clients. If you got any clients that need to refinance their current auto loans from their personal to their business, let me know. Tell them I'm going to hook them up. I had a client. His auto loan was at 8% or 12%. They refinanced him down to like 5%. This happened last year for his company vehicle and his personal vehicle. So I'm not just talking about this. The main thing that I have is the relationships because I come from this industry. I'm not just talking about going into random Chase banks and going into random Wells Fargo banks and Bank of America banks, and I don't know anybody, and I'm just going to ask them, hey, can you give me a credit card? No, I'm going to call up my guy. Hey, I have this client. This is their profile. This is what they're looking to do. What's the best strategy? So, true story. I'm about to tell you guys the truth here. Transparency moment. I actually got approved for a $150,000 line of credit. But why did I not accept it? Because they wanted me to give them documentation. They wanted tax returns and W-2s and all of this different stuff. So they approved me. They said, hey, D, you got the perfect profile. You're amazing. We got you. You qualify for 150,000. So I had to make the choice. Do I want these people all in my business? Do I want to give them these tax returns and these W-2s and all this stuff? Or should I just accept a little bit less because I don't really need it? I want it. I don't really need it, and not have to show them any documentation. So he called me. He said, hey, D, I need the tax returns. I said, I don't want to give them the tax returns. I don't want to do that. I don't want to give them my W-2s. I don't want these people having all my information. He said, okay, well, I don't know what to do then because they're asking for documentation. He said, but you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk to the underwriters. We're going to bring in the senior managers for you. They know who you are. So they went back in and they said, you know what, D, you could take 60, no docs, or you could take 100 and just give us 1 year. I said, no, I don't want that. Just give me the 60. Boom, approved. You see what I'm saying? So it helps to have relationships. I don't do credit card stacking. No knock to it. There's a lot of people who do it and it works for them. But for me, I do relationship banking. If you go back to my Financially Free D YouTube channel, I've been talking about this for 2 years. And congratulations to my channel. Congratulations. We turned 2. We just turned 2. I've been talking about this from the very beginning, way before this was a popular thing. Relationship banking. Who do you have a relationship with? How strong is your relationship? For me, I'm talking to the underwriters. I'm talking to the managers. I'm talking to the vice presidents of the banks because I actually work with them on the corporate side as well. So you want to build those relationships. That's what we talk about. What are the banks that you need relationships to get high limit funding, 50,000, 25,000, 100,000, and what banks do you not need relationship with, where they'll approve you at 25,000, no docs, no relationship, you don't know them at all, and they don't know you, and they're going to approve you. So we are talking about that in the Secure the Bag 0 to 100K. In my Credit to Freedom membership program, I'm actually giving you the banks by states. You can go to these banks, you can go to that bank, whatever, right? So if you guys got questions, drop them down in the comment section. I'm on a roll. I can talk about this all day, every day. But if you have questions, drop them down in the comment section. So the last and most important part that we're going over in the Secure the Bag Masterclass, that is 1 day only. 1 day only. Free, completely free, is how to turn credit into cash. That's the thing that you guys probably care about the most, right? Everybody wants to skip to that part. Everybody wants to skip to that part. That's part number 5. But that is the most complex. So if you don't do step 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're not going to be able to do 5. And I'm going to tell you the truth. There's people who tell you, yeah, you can have a 400 credit score. You can, have all these delinquencies and you're going to get $1 million. That's not true. That's not real. You have to be set up properly in order to qualify for this money. Once you have the money, then you have the opportunity, right? So I'm in the process of closing a cash flow deal that can potentially be 102% return for me. I will say that again, 102% return for me, potentially. I talked about this on a live a couple of weeks ago, right? So I'm doing my due diligence right now. All right, let's get the stuff inspected. Let's get the things appraised. Let's make sure that this is worth what you say that it's worth. And like I told you guys the other week, this is a time where people are going to be selling because unfortunately people don't have money, and you don't want to be one of those people. You want to be one of the people that can buy. You are in position. You have other people's money, so you are in position to buy. You can buy these things at a 30% discount, at a 50% discount, at a 70% discount, right? You want to be that person. I am fortunately that person. I held off this whole year and I didn't buy one asset this whole year because I knew this time was coming. I knew it. I was prepared for it. So guess what? It's not too late for you. You can start to acquire this money, especially if you already in position and you just need to maybe set up your business entity, or maybe you just need to increase your credit limits, or maybe you just need to remove one certain, negative thing off of your credit that's not going to be too difficult. You are still in position that in 2024, within this next 45 days, you can acquire some money. I told you guys about my client, Renee. We fixed her. It took her a while to get her things together, but within like 60 days, she got like $30,000. 30 to $45,000, 0% interest. And she refinanced her high debt. So that's me. I am an analytical thinker. I'm not just going to tell you, hey, let's get this credit. No, we're going to look at all of your accounts. Okay, you're paying 28% interest over here. No, we need to refinance that into a 0% interest situation. So it's not just about acquiring the credit. It's about also making more money with what you already have. Some of you guys don't have an income problem. You have a spending problem. You have I'm paying high interest debt and I'm not even paying attention to it. So I'm never paying off the principal. I'm always only paying interest. And that should not be the situation. You should be taking inventory. Put it down in the chat. Take inventory of your credit profile. Take inventory of your business profile. Take inventory of your overall finances. You should know how much interest you're paying on every single account that you have. Me, I don't pay interest. I'm not paying interest, period. I have nothing but 0% interest. And if it is something that I have interest that I have to pay on, guess what? I pay it off every single month. Every single month. Guess what? When my 0% interest runs out over here, I go get another 0% interest product and refinance it into that. That is how you play the game at a higher level. So getting the credit, that's just the first step. Getting other people money, grant money and all these things, that's just the first step. Then you got to learn how to make some money from it. How are you going to make some money and then sustain it? And then how are you going to diversify it? By investing into different assets, different cash flowing assets. So that is what I am heavy on right now. And we're going to be I'm going to be going into a new journey that I want to take you guys along with me. So hopefully, if you are not subscribed to Financially Free D YouTube channel, you want to do that right now. If you have not joined the Credit to Freedom membership program, you definitely want to do that right now, especially if you have some credit issues or you have credit limits that's less than $25,000. Anybody have credit limits less than $25,000? I don't have those. How are you going to get to $100,000 quickly if you don't increase those credit limits? You got to increase those credit limits. If you want to learn how to get some grant money, where to get it from, you need to be in the membership. I'm going to be giving you Secure the Bag Masterclass completely free to really go in depth to teach you guys these 5 pillars. Turning that credit into cash flow is simply having the money and waiting for the right deals, getting in at the right price. Don't be the person left holding the bag. Do not be the person who buys at the top because you have fear of missing out. Unless you are going to constantly buy no matter what. If I'm a person that I'm saying, hey, I'm going to acquire 50 properties. I'm going to buy whether the market is high. I'm going to buy whether the market is low. I'm going to buy no matter what. Then you're fine. You buy whenever you want to, whether we're at a top or whether we're at a bottom. Same thing with stocks. If you're a person that says, I'm going to invest in stocks no matter what, this is like a bill to me. This is a part of my monthly expenses. Then you shouldn't be concerned about buying at the top or buying at the bottom. Everybody's rushing into cryptocurrency now because we have this new administration announcement. $90,000 all-time high. And everybody's rushing in. What do you think happens when everybody rushes in? The people who bought at the bottom, they take out of it. So guess what? Then the price is going to decrease. You do not want to be the person left holding the bag unless you are going to buy regardless. So these are the fundamentals of securing the bag. It's not just about obtaining the money, the other people's money. It's about, okay, once you have it, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to make it make money for you? And that is what I am going to be personally focusing on myself. I'm going to be focusing, okay, really, truly, I've been spending the last 2.5, almost 3 years here teaching people in my mentorships and my different programs, different events that I've held. And I've been telling you guys the same thing. Either you know me or you don't know me. Either you heard this or you didn't hear this. But now I'm going to focus on me and my community because we are going up. This is so important. The next 4 years are going to be dire for us. So you need to focus on how you're going to obtain other people's money and get in the game. How are you going to get in the game? How are you going to get into real estate? How are you going to get into investments? How are you going to create a business so that you can utilize the tax laws and take advantage of them morally, ethically, and to the highest extent possible and legally? How are the billionaires not paying much in taxes? Not because they shouldn't, because they know the tax laws and they take advantage of them morally, ethically, and legally. So you need to do the same thing. We need to learn to play their game, right? So if you do have a personal credit score less than 700, you need to be in the room. We need to get your credit is the basic. That's the basics. That's the foundation. How do we pay off that high utilization? How do we remove those negative and derogatory items off of your credit? That should be the basics. Then the second part of that is, how do we increase those credit limits? Like I said, I don't have a credit limit less than 25,000. You can ask any student of mine. We go for high limit funding. Why? Because it's easier to turn 20,000 into 100,000 than to turn 2,000 into 100,000. I got 100,000 with four products. Four products. I have $500,000 with three institutions. Three institutions. One of them gave me 250,000. Now they didn't give me what, 300,000 since I just got approved today, which I'm excited about. So you guys give me some hand claps in the comment section, in the chat. We are excited about this 60K. We about to turn this into some cash flow. We're about to go buy an asset with that, right? So if you have these credit issues, or you have less than 25,000 as a limit, you need to be in the Secure the Bag 0 to 100K masterclass. It's free. If you do not have your business entity set up and you haven't acquired grant money or 0% interest business credit cards, you need to be in a room, because you need to get your business set up properly. If you do not have at least $100,000 in other people's money, then you need to be in the room. If you do not know how to acquire grants, then you need to be in the room. And lastly, if you have not turned your credit into cash flow, if you're saying, hey, D, I got an 800 credit score. Hey, D, all my credit limits is 25,000, 50,000, but you're doing nothing with it, and it is that much of an asset for you my 800 credit score has made me I have $1 million net worth because of it. My 800 credit score is not just a vanity number. Well, I'm actually at 830 now. So we're super excited about these things. These are things to be proud about. This is not a brag. This is something I worked very hard for, and I continue to. So I'm not just walking around saying I have an 800 credit score. I'm walking around telling you guys, you need to get other people's money. You need to start a business. You need to take advantage of the tax laws. Do you know how much? You guys don't even want to know how much I paid in taxes on $250,000. You don't even want to know. You would be sick. You would be mad, right? So if you're in that 22% tax bracket, if you're in that 24% tax bracket, and you're paying tens of thousands of dollars in taxes, whether that's your job taking it out of your W-2, and you see it at the end on your W-2, taking it out of your paycheck, and you see it at the end on your W-2, like, oh my God, these people took out $30,000, and you don't even realize it during the whole 12 months that is happening. You need to be in the room, because you are paying way too much in taxes. The taxes fall on the middle class. You need to understand that. So we should be preparing about tax season, and I'm going to get into that next week after Secure the Bag. How to save tens of thousands of dollars in taxes legally, ethically, and morally sound, because I did it, right? And my team, we do it. How do you do that? So some of you guys don't have a money-making problem. You have a problem keeping your money, because you don't know how to leverage what you have. Your credit is an asset. If you are a high income earner, you make $100,000 or more, that is an asset for you. If you know how to do things that other people don't know how to do, that's an asset. I don't know how to sew. Somebody come sew something for me. I will pay you. You need to be using that as an asset. So there's all these things that you have that you can be using to go from 0 to 100K with other people's money. And we are going to go into that very much in depth in the Secure the Bag Masterclass. It is live on Wednesday, November 20th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is free 99. So if you have not gotten the room, I'm actually going to pull up the website for you guys right now so you guys can see. We are going to go to the page so you guys can see. I want to make sure that anybody that wants this free class, because this is the last one that I will be holding, and I'm going to talk about that later. Let me make sure. Wait, hold on, guys. I don't know. Actually, I may not be able to share my screen. Okay, I don't think I can share my screen on here. I thought I could, but I'm going to drop the link in the chat again. I'm going to drop the link for you guys to have the free 0 to 100K master class. Everybody, if you can see that in the comment section, drop it down below if you can see it in the comment section. So all you have to do is go to financiallyfreed.com/secure the bag 1-day masterclass. We will make sure if you are watching the replay or if you are watching this live that all of the comment sections will have the links. If you go to any of the previous posts, the links are in the chat. If you see our graphics, it is there too. I wish I could share with you guys my screen, but I don't know how to do that on here. So I guess I can't do it. But I don't think I have any other comments in the comment section. Well, I'm going to leave you guys with this. I am wishing you guys financial freedom. Please do not let an administration, a job, a person that is not your higher being dictate your life. We were not put here to have a dictatorship, not be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, not being able to have the freedom of choice to live a better quality of life. Literally, fixing my credit and acquiring other people's money changed my life. I will be the first person to come on here and say, and I'll actually take my glasses off so you guys can see my eyes. I will be the first person to say that when I left my job, I was lost. I was confused. I was like, oh my gosh, did I really just leave a 6-figure job? And I'm 27, 28. And everybody was telling me I was on the path to the C-suite. Darren, you're crazy. You're crazy. How could you leave this job? And I believed in myself and I believed in my abilities and I knew I prepared. I've always had an emergency fund. Like I said, I have a financial background. So I knew it's a rainy day. It's a rainy day ever comes about, I'm going to be okay. But it was scary. It's scary to not make money for 12 months when you're used to living very well. I lived very well. I'm not going to lie to you guys about that. I had to really change my lifestyle and really have faith in myself. If you don't believe in you, nobody is going to believe in you. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to be willing to take a chance on yourself. You have to be willing to say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to get in the rooms. I'm going to learn the stuff and I'm going to leverage what I have. And that's exactly what I did. For 12 months, I studied business credit. I went to all these different networking events. Before I even started my business, I did it like a job. I learned as much as I could about actually being a business owner. And then I said, okay, I'm ready to start my business. All right, I'm ready to, fix my credit and I'm ready to secure it. And that's why it happened so fast for me. So you can't look at someone else's, chapter 20 and you're on chapter 1. Don't look at that and compare yourself, but you do have to take action because no one is going to save you. No one is going to save you. And I just had to have this same conversation with myself. That's why I'm pivoting. I'm pivoting. And you guys will hear more about that next week. What I used to do, I'm not doing anymore. When you have to pivot, you have to pivot. No, I'm not going back to a 9 to 5 at all. I'm actually doubling down on building wealth, and I'm focusing on myself and my community. So if you want the knowledge, then it's here for you to have. But no longer am I going to try to force people to drink the water. You can lead them, but you can't make them drink. And in this administration, it is so important. I cannot say that to you all enough, to take action. Do not be a victim of your circumstances. Do not say anything that is impossible. You can do it. I did it. I literally started with nothing. I didn't have any government assistance. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. I had the money I saved in my emergency fund and faith in myself. So I leave you guys with that. I wish you a financially free life. I really do. Financial freedom is not just about money. There's a whole bunch of people who make a lot of money and they're miserable and they have no time for their families. They don't enjoy what they do. They're not happy. I don't wish that on you. I wish you the life that you want. I wish that you design your own destiny. You turn your passions into profit and you learn how to use the system legally, morally, and ethically sound, just like the wealthy. They've been playing this game for years. We're just behind. So I wish that for you. I am on my journey to financial freedom, and you guys, again, will hear all about that next week. I hope to see you in the Secure the Bag Masterclass. This is my last class, guys. I have not announced this. You guys are the first ones that I'm telling. This is my last class. I will not be doing any more master classes, any more events, any more of that. Either you're in my community and I'm just going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. Either you watch my free YouTube videos and you take action and you get in the room, or you just won't see me, because I am not going to force people to do things that they don't want to do. If you want to be led to financial freedom, I'm on that bus and I'm going to teach you everything I know. If I don't know it, I can't teach it to you, but everything that I know, I'm going to come back and tell you. So I'll be in Secure the Bag on Wednesday, guys. This is my farewell class. That is the reason why I decided to make it free, because I will not be doing this anymore. So I hope that you guys stay tuned in to Financially Free D YouTube channel. I will be there. I will also be in the Credit to Freedom membership with my I don't even want to call you guys mentees. I want to say with my family. You guys are going to be my family, because I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the things that is happening behind the scenes, how to do these deals, get 100% returns, the banks, the grants, all the good stuff. So click that link in the comment section down below if you want to join our free class. It is the last one Financially Free D will be holding until I don't know. I don't know if it'll be a year from now, 2 years, or whenever. I won't say the date, but as of now, I will not be doing any more after Secure the Bag free masterclass. So I'll see you on November 20th, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Meet me in the room. Bye.